So today is the day that we go ahead and we build our massive power plant, and it should end up looking something like this. But before we do that, we've got a few little tasks in hand, so let's head back to the hub and let's talk about what our plans are going to be today. So first of all, as you can see by the list that I have on the right hand side, we need to sort out the balancing and the overclocking that we didn't quite get a chance to explore at the end of the last episode. And then we're going to at the same time get our copper sheets into production. We do want to go ahead and find some quartz and some Caterium, which I have labeled here on the map. We're just going to use the portable miners just to grab some of them, shovel them in production, just because we want to access the zip line over here. So we need to make some Caterium ingots, and we also need the quick wire as well. And for the quartz, we want to head on over here so we unlock the silica, which we have some over here. But it will just enable us to unlock a bit more of this as well. Mainly this one, the inventory slots, we definitely want them. And then what we also want to do is we want to transfer some of this alien protein into the alien DNA. And I think we'll go ahead and unlock the rebar gun, as we should have enough resources for that. But also the alien DNA is good for the awesome sink, which I do want to go ahead and build, because that will allow us to unlock some nice aesthetics for our power plant. Then we're going to go ahead and build our power plant, and what we're going to do is we're going to build it down here. There's a nice little area kind of marked on the map, and then we're also going to go ahead and get some of these milestones complete. So first of all, what we need to do is head over to tier 3, select the milestone of the coal power plant. So we definitely want to go ahead and do that as well. So we'll pop that down and we'll go ahead and grab the resources. Okay, so here we are. We will go ahead and we'll get this one done. We'll pop these in here, or I do need a few more cables actually. Kind of didn't work that out very well, but that's not a problem. We should have plenty of cables over here. Yeah, we've got plenty of cables. We'll grab another stack as well, just for our power lines that we're probably going to use. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Okay, so boom, coal power plant is launched and it's on its way. Okay, so now we have access to the Mark II belts. We're first of all going to sort our biomass problem out. Now this one over here is taking in leaves, which is fine. That should take 120 per minute, but we haven't got any in storage at the moment, so that's fine. But what we can do is we have access to the Mark II belt, which will give us the upgrade to transport 120 per minute. We'll go ahead and do that. We're only getting 60 per minute out, so that can stay as a Mark I belt. That's perfectly fine. This one here, we have 60 wood going in, so that's perfect, but we've got 300 per minute biomass coming out. So what we can do is upgrade this to a Mark II belt. We could, if we wanted to be really efficient, we could play around with this number just here. So target production rate, we could knock that down to 120 per minute, and that will drop the wood down to 24, but it should increase this up to 100%, which means that we are taking in 120 from here. So what we do need to do is upgrade this belt as well to 120, and that should pretty much make that 100% efficient. After a while, that should kind of go up. And then we've only got 60 coming out, so Mark I belt is perfectly fine. So next what we're going to do, we're going to head over here to our copper. Now we've got cables going into this one. What we want to do is convert one of these going into the copper sheets. So what we're probably going to do is move this lot around. So what we'll probably do is we'll get rid of this merger. We'll get rid of this belt here. We'll probably end up getting rid of these two belts as well. And then what we can do is just double check that. Yeah, 30 is fine. So we can take this out and we can drag this over to here, straight belt. And then from this one, what we're going to do is make copper sheets. So we're going to change this from copper wire, select recipe over here, and what we'll do is we'll use the sheets. We'll turn that back on, and we're having 20 per minute, which should be good because we should have, but the 30 per minute out of this one over here is being split two ways, so it's 15 and 15. So we do need to bring this one down by 5 to make that 15, which is pretty simple to work out. We know that 20 goes into 5 4 times, so we know it's going to be 75%. So we'll drop that. That will take 15 per minute, which is perfect because, as you know, 30 coming out there, split two ways. That's perfect. We've already got 15 out of here. That works pretty nicely. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build another storage over here. So we'll go ahead and put the storage container next to this one. We'll make sure we've got our inputs and our outputs the right way. And then what we can do is we can just get a straight conveyor belt straight into there. So now that that one's done, what we're going to do is we're going to head over here to our screws, which if you remember in the last episode, if you have watched it, if you haven't watched the last episode and want to know how I set all this up for a great little starter, kind of did this in the first sort of recording this hour and a half, but if you follow along quite quickly, you should get it all done within the first hour gameplay. So definitely worth checking out if you're kind of new to the game or want to know how to optimize your starting build. So as I was saying, into our screws. So this one here is doing our rotors, and as you can see, we're taking 100 screws per minute. So straight away, we need to upgrade this belt to a Mark II, which will do 120 per minute. Now it should cover quite nicely because we've got 40 screws coming out of these, and we have this one here which is doing 40, but this one is being split. So we have got 100 screws coming into this belt here, but now with the Mark II belt, this should eventually work out a 100% efficiency, so it starts climbing up quite nicely. So next one, what we're going to do is just we're going to double check all of these. So they're fine on a Mark I belt. We've got 30 coming in. Let's just see what we have over here. So we've got 30 coming out, which is absolutely perfectly fine. We should have that split both ways, so that should be working quite nicely. Let's just double check our percentage. Yeah, 100%. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sort our concrete production out, because we're going to need a lot of concrete for our foundations. And as we know, because we had a pure limestone node, we are producing 120 per minute, but obviously we've only got a Mark I belt. So we've got 120 going in, and we normally have 45 just here. So if I just put this back to 100%, that was just where I was doing some calculations, we're doing 45 per minute. Now, to work out how many constructors we need, we can open up the search bar with N, and we have 120 going in, but we have 45 per. So we need to divide that, and that gives us 2.666 recurring. Now, if we just round that up to say 3, because it's a nice round number, what we can do is we can divide that by 3. So that's telling us what we need, 2.6. Obviously, we can't have 2.6. So we are going to round that up. So if we now divide that by the number of constructors we need, we now have 0.888. So we can then times that by 100 to give us our percent, and we have 88.888 recurring. And that's basically how I worked that out. So what we can do from here, we can go ahead and we can get our production, head over to our constructors, and then we're going to have another one a little bit higher up. But I'm not too worried about that. That is going to be fine. So we're going to, first of all, get rid of this belt here. So what we want to do is we want to split this 3 ways. So we want to kind of line this one up to around here. If that's what we're going to do, is we're going to line it up to this one here, right in the middle. And then because we're only having 40 come out, we can mark 1 belt for these over here. Connect to this one. Nope, we'll go like that. Then we'll go ahead and connect that one. And then what we can do is connect to this one. This one wants to be a Mark II belt. We can't go for straight, so we're going to go for default. There we go. So we've got 120 coming in. That's split 3 ways over here. We need to make sure we make these concrete, and we haven't got any power to these yet, but that's fine. We can sort that out. That's that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just merge these into this belt over here. So that's all that sorted, and now we just need to make sure we get these with power. So we're going to go ahead and connect that to that one there, and this one's also got to be connected, but we'll do it from that pole over there. Okay, so there we go. We have just increased our concrete production. We do need to make that 88% as well. If we head over here, we're going to make this 88 point. Just keep pressing 8. That will convert that to that. We can copy those settings. We can look at this one, press Control V, paste those. We'll look at this one, Control V, and paste those as well. So now we have 13.3 coming out of each of them. So if we just do 13.3 recurring, we will times that by 3. And we've basically got 40 per minute of the concrete coming out. So that should definitely speed up the production here, which is absolutely perfect to see. So next of all, what we want to do, and now that is all pretty much sorted, what we can do is we can head over here to our little menu. We can tick off our balancing and overclocking because that's all done. We can now tick off our copper sheets. Okay, so we've come to drop off the concrete, and just a little bit of a tip I thought I'd show you guys. We've got a load of concrete all spread out all over here, and even if we press sort, we understand it's all lined up, but normally if you want to do a stack, you'll press shift and it will transfer that stack over. But if you want to do all of the same item to transfer from your inventory or even from storage back to your inventory, you just hold left control and click it will transfer all of the same item over. Just make things just a lot quicker actually. So as it's night time, we won't bother going getting some quartz and that now. What we'll do is we will go ahead and get the awesome sink built. We'll transfer some of this into alien DNA, drop them into the sink, and we should be able to then unlock some cosmetics ready for our power plant. So what we'll do is we'll just drop the awesome sink over here, I think. So we'll go ahead and drop the awesome sink over here. Yeah, we'll try and put it as far back as we can so it's not kind of in the way. We'll go ahead and get the awesome shop ready as well. We'll just put this over here somewhere, but first of all, we need to go and grab some screws. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the awesome shop. We'll just pop it there for now. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get a storage container, and we will pop that just in front of this awesome sink, just so we can just dump items in there as and when we need to, and we will go pop that in there. So let's go ahead and go to the crafting table. What we're going to do is we're going to go right down here, and we're going to go to the alien DNA capsules, and we're just going to go ahead and make them. I'm going to go to the mammoth, the research as well. We're going to research what is it we were going to do. So neutrons, no, it's alien technology, or this one here. So we wanted to basically unlock the rebar. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll research that, and then we'll dump the rest into the awesome sink, because that will be very handy indeed. So let's go ahead. We'll get some reinforced plates. We'll unlock the rebar at least, then that's done. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the rebar gun unlocked, just like that. Go ahead to the equipment workshop now. Should be able to do the blade runners, so we'll get them crafted. We'll get the rebar crafted as well, and then we'll get a few of the iron rebar. We'll probably go for 100. I think 100 of the rebar should be plenty for now, so we'll go ahead and do 100 of those, and that's the 100 rebar done as well. So we're going to go ahead now, go in inventory, we'll equip those. We probably don't need a chainsaw, so we'll swap those over. We'll put the miners in there as well. But now we're going to head and get some quartz and some Caterium. Now the Caterium's probably closer, so we'll go ahead and go on first. We'll give these blade runners a test. So as you can see already, we are 100% quicker. And when we do our jump, oh yeah, this is going to make traversing the land so much more quicker. Oh, come to think of it, we haven't collected any of these yet, so that'll be good for the resource tree. So we'll go ahead and grab those. So we're going to go ahead and bring our chainsaw just very quickly, because this over here, this nice looking tree here, is also a very good source of mycelia. So not only are the ones in the swamps good, these trees here are good for mycelia as well. Definitely worth collecting them just so we can unlock some more items in the map. So we're going to go ahead, we'll just finish grabbing all of this mycelia, and then we'll get some of our Caterium done. In fact, what we can do is if we place down our portable miners first, they can be doing what they're doing while we're gathering the rest of it. So we'll go ahead and place our portable miners down. Go ahead and place a few down here. There we go. Now we can grab our chainsaw out. We can finish collecting all this mycelia. So yeah, Caterium is at 100, so that's fine. So we can do that. We can pick up the miner. I think if we pick up the miner, it does automatically pick up the resources as well. Oh no, it did pick up the resources as well, so we just pick up the miner, make things a lot quicker. Okay, so yeah, we've got all the Caterium there. That's perfect. Got that back in our hands, and we'll go ahead and head over to the quartz now. So the quartz is actually located right up here. So the way I know that, even though it's hidden, what I did was I just scanned for the raw quartz. Go ahead and press M. And if you just wait patiently for a minute, you should see it pop up over here. There's quite a few nodes over here. So we'll definitely be making a factory over here for the quartz. So there we go. It all popped up. I think they're all normal nodes. I can't really... Oh, there's a couple of temp ones over there. But yeah, that's basically the easy way to do it. So we'll go ahead and we'll head over to the quartz. Oh, we've come across another Mercer sphere over here, so we'll grab that while we're here. That will come in hand for the dimension portals a little bit later on. So you do want to keep an eye on those. They will come in handy a little bit later on. So we're going to pop down some miners over here. That will give us 500 quartz, which should be pretty good. Okay, so that was a nice little haul on we got 14 of the hog remains, so that'll be pretty good. We'll grab these miners now. There we go, our inventory is full. So what we'll do is we'll head back to the hub. Okay, so here we are back at base. Let's see what raw resources we need for the... Okay, so Caterium, what we have here. So we need to research the Caterium ingots. For that, we need Caterium ingots for the quick wire. So our quartz, we'll go ahead and unlock that. And we'll probably have to convert that into silica. Okay, so what we need is we need a few constructors, which I think we'll probably just build over here randomly for now. Before we head over to the power plant, probably need to do some inventory. We need to work out what we need. So power, we need 36 of the coal powered generators. So we'll go ahead and we'll type 36 in here. So that's added to our to-do list. So production wise, water extractors, we need 18 of these. So we have 18 water extractors and we have 36 generators. Now, I say we need 36 generators. We don't actually need 36 generators. That's just basically forward planning a lot so we can make sure that we kind of don't need to worry about power for an extremely long time. Okay, so once you've got all your resources ready for your foundation, so that's 200 of the iron plates and you want about 5,000 of the concrete. You want to head over to this sort of location on the map, which is where we're going to build our coal power plant. So we're going to head over there now and I'll show you how to set up all your foundations, and we'll just let the reinforced plates, the rotors and the cables all accumulate while we're away, so we can make sure we've got enough of them for all the generators, the water extractors that we need. There is another summer slop up here. There's also a big guy up here as well. I think we'll probably avoid him for now. We'll try and avoid him for now. We'll just head over here to the power plant. Just make our way through here. We should be pretty much here now, which is pretty good. So we want to head on down here as safely as possible. So as you can see, our 2 coal ore nodes that we're going to be using down here. So once you're kind of here, you want to head over this direction, and this is where we're going to be building our power plant, sort of out here. Okay, so let's get to building our foundations, which we're going to be building right out there in that direction. Nice body of water here. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to basically lay out our foundations and kind of make a grid. Now, if you didn't know with foundations, if you hold down control, it will snap to the world grid, which is good for when you're building the factories and everything like that. All your roads, your railways, all of that lot will all line up with each other. But with the power plant, we're not too bothered about that. Kind of want it like that. That's kind of how we want our foundation, just above this rock. Now, what we want to do is we kind of want to work it out so we go straight past here. So this is a good spot pretty much around here. So we can do 4 meters all the way along this. We can go ahead and bring the 4 meter foundations out to about 5 to start with. Just make sure that that's kind of all the way out here. And I'll probably go to about here. So want to go as far out as we can to about here. Yeah, so that's perfect. So if we go ahead and we go to dismantle, hold left control, we can work out how many that is. So that's 12 just there. So we're kind of going basis off the start of here. So if we go for this one, the start of this rock, we'll just get rid of these 2 for now. Go from the start of this rock here, we are 11 this way. Now we want to go to 33 out. So we're 11 here. So we're 11 there with our 4 meter, and we want to go 14 in this direction. So we've got 1 here and we want to go 14. So that's 10 plus that one is 11. So we want to go 12, 13, 14. So that's our 14 in that direction. And then, as I said, we want to go 33 in this direction. So that's 1 there. So we just need 32. So we'll go for 10 and we've got 10 here. But no, what we can do now is we can go to the 2 meter. just because I think the 2 meter has a bit more of a solid foundation. So we can go another 10 out in that direction, and then we need to go another 2. So 2 there. So now what we want to do is we want to go 10 in that direction, plus that one is 11, and we want to go 14. So we're going to go for another 3 just there, and that should line us up pretty nicely with that one over there. So there we go. So that's our first floor foundations. So what we want to do now is just fill this all in. Okay, so now that that's all built, we're going to build a second floor directly above it. Now this floor is going to be the logistics floor. The one underneath is going to be where your extractors are, where the body of water is, and then the top floor is going to be where all the generators are. So now we need to work out how tall we actually want to go. So we want to go kind of 6 meters high. So we've got a basic wall 1 meter and basic wall of 4 meters. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a wall just here like this. We're going to go up by 2, which will give us 8 meters. And then we're going to go ahead and go up 2 with the 1 meter, which will give us our 6 meters. But what we're going to do, instead of using a 2 meter to go up 6, we're going to use the 4 meter. Just because it will make it a bit easier when we go ahead and get our foundation. So we're going to use another 2 meter foundation, and we're going to go literally like that. So it takes off the 2 meters, and that's going to be exactly where we want it, just there. So that is that. And now we can get rid of these walls. We are happy. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically build. Now we're going to continue with our foundations. So we want to go exactly the same. So we've done 10 and we want to do 33. So that's another 20. And this one here will be 3. So what you want to do is basically do exactly the same as you did for this floor. You want to... Okay, so now we have all of our foundations in place. What I like to do is build a lookout tower, so I can go straight up here and get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, so now we're up here, we're going to plan where all of our generators are going to go. Okay, so I've gathered all the resources. It is unfortunately night time now, but we haven't really got time to wait till daytime, so we can kind of see what we're doing here. Now you might have seen a change. I did kind of get the grid wrong. It should be 4 and then 9. So we should have 2 normal foundations in the middle and a walkway 2. So it's basically 2 foundation gap all the way around where we're going to place our generators. So let's go ahead and get our generators. So power and coal powered generator. So we want them orientating in this direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump down. Basically, they're going to be about there. So we're going to lock it in with H. So we're going to lock it in with H, and we're going to pop down just so we can kind of see what we're doing a little bit properly. So basically what you want is you want to nudge it just ever so slightly. So you want the kind of frame of the generator on this back line of the foundations. And then what you want to do is you want to line up this water intake here with the middle. So we just need to nudge it over here, and that's where we kind of want it. So we can place that one down. And then for our next one, we're going to hold control to snap it into place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lock it into place. So snap it next to it. We're going to lock it into place. And what we want to do is over twice. So this is where what I spoke about in the last episode, where we can nudge, which will nudge a meter. And we can nudge 8 across and 8 forward and backwards, which is a foundation. But if you hold down control, you can actually do half a meter nudge for little fine adjustments. So for the next one, we want to line it up with the water intake in line with the middle, or where the 2 foundations join. So we're going to pop another one there, and then we're going to do exactly the same for all of these. So with this one, hold control, want to just nudge it across. So the water intake is in the middle. Want to do this one, want to lock it in place, nudge it twice. So there we go. We should have 6 generators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because this is a little bit different. So I'm going to change the orientation round. We are going to lock it into place. And instead of the water intake hitting the middle here, we want the conveyor belt intake. So slightly opposite. We want to make sure this is over to the back. So we're going to nudge it over here. And then we're probably going to nudge it over this way a little bit. That should be in line. So just going to look over here. and we're just going to nudge it just like that. And that's how you will do this side as well. So once you're done, it should look something like this. Now I haven't done the end ones because I'm running a bit low on rotors, so I want to make sure I've got enough for the water extractors. But now we're going to go ahead and get the conveyor belts and the pipelines lined up nicely. So we're going to jump down here again, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with the pipelines. So what you want to do is you want to hold control to line it up with this, and you want the pipeline floor holes to be directly in the middle, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and do the same for this one. So it wants to be in the middle. We're just going to go ahead and do that for all of these. Okay, perfect. And next we're going to do the conveyor belt floor holes. So these we want pretty much directly underneath where the conveyor belt is going to go. It's as simple as that. That's all we need. So we're going to pop all of these down as well. So they're all done. I want to make sure those in the right. Okay, they're all complete. So now all we want to do is we want to connect all the pipes and the conveyor belt lifts as well. So we're going for the Mark II. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the Mark II conveyor belt lift, and we're just going to rotate this round to here, and we're just going to in. So that should automatically connect to that, and we're just going to do the same for all of these. Okay, so now they're all done, we can go ahead and do our pipes. So we're going to use the clean pipeline, and what we're going to do is just connect it straight to there. So we're going to connect those. There we go. We have all of our pipes all in place, sitting there quite perfectly. Okay, so here we are back at the plant. And so first of all, we're going to go through talking about our pipes and how to line them up perfectly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start over this side. So we know the pipes are dead in the middle here. We're just going to drag the pipe all the way along as far as we can go. This one goes sort of around here, and then we'll connect this one again. We'll go all the way down. We'll pop that one in the middle. So the reason why I'm doing this is because it will all kind of make sense as and when we do it. But we'll just focus on one set of generators and then basically just copy it all along. So now we've got our pipeline in place, we can kind of gauge now the best way to sort of do this. We'll just extend this a little bit more. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get the pipeline junction. Now we know that the pipe input is going to be dead in the middle. So just here, we're going to place it just. So once we've got this pipe junction into place, we can hold down control and we can snap another pipeline junction here. So what I want to do is I want to lock it into place. I want to nudge it to the right ever so slightly and line it up there. Now when we place our pipeline onto here now, and we hold down control, you should see it will snap either to the left or to the right. So you can see it snap to the right there, and we're going to go ahead and snap this one to the left. We're going to get rid of that. That might have just been in the way ever so slightly. So it's snapping that way, but so that snapped to the left. Place that there, and as you can see, it's perfectly in line now. When we grab this one, we can go straight up, and there we go. That will line that up perfectly. So that's how we kind of want to do it. So hopefully now if we line this up, you can see it doesn't really want to snap into place. So it's not dead central. So that's how we kind of want to do it. So we know that this one here is going to be perfectly in line there. So we just want to lock that, want to nudge it to the right, and we basically want to do that for all the way down. So we know this one's dead in the middle. We want to line it all up, lock it. And so once you've done all that and you've got all your pipes into place just here, then just join them all up. Okay, so it should look at something a bit like this. What we're going to do is just get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of these two bits of pipe because sometimes they act a bit weird when they're like that. And plus we want it all nice and clean anyway. So there we go. That's how your pipes will set up. Now we're going to do the conveyor belts. So we're going to get the conveyor belt lifts. So we're going to be using the Mark II lifts. So we're going to grab that. So what we're going to do is we're going to position the conveyor belt lifts. We're going to bring it just down. We don't want it down that far. We want it just up like this. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our splitters. Now this is going to be a basic manifold system. Now what you can do is you can kind of snap it onto a lift like that, but I kind of don't like the look of it. I like to try and find a nice spot pretty much like that. So that's how. Now we know exactly where these are set up. We've got one in the middle, basically the opposite of the pipes. So what we can do is we can go ahead and grab our splitter. We can line it up perfectly, straight in the middle. So we can see the dotted line just there. So we know that's lined up. And then we want one here as well. And this one in the middle. just get rid of this extra one there. That's perfect. Now we can get all of our lifts into place. So we can just snap these all the way on, drag it down. We can get all these done, and then we can get our miners all set up, all nodes, and we can get all this laid up quite nicely. So that's good. Let's get our foundations back down. I'm pretty sure it does work like this, so we haven't got anything to worry about. We'll go to production. We'll get our miners. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I want this one dead straight, and then we're also going to put this one dead straight as well. What we are going to do is we'll make this look a little bit fancy. We'll see how it looks with the belt. Actually, it looks kind of cool. If we go for a straight belt, we might be able to make this nice and straight. Yeah, we'll stop that there for now. At least then we can kind of organize it a little bit better. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this round to here. We want to kind of loop it so it's nice and straight. We're going to bring this round to here, and then we're going to do the same with this one. We're going to bring this one in. Okay, so that's our two belts nicely lined up. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this one to feed this side, just because it's over here. So I think it'll be nice if we just do it like that. So we're going to line this one up pretty much like that. Yep, we're going to go ahead and bring this belt in, and then we're just going to connect all of these up basically. So we don't need to connect that because that goes straight into there. Now, the reason why I've done everything in Mark II is because I'm anticipating obviously doing a maximum belt speed of 270 when we get Mark III and we get the Mark II miners. That's the only reason why I've done it in Mark II belts and everything for now. So as we're now down below getting ready to sort our water extractors out, while the sun is coming up so we can actually see what we're doing properly, we'll talk about the numbers. So a standard generator will take 15 coal per minute and requires 45 water per minute to make 75 megawatts of power. And we have 3 groups of 6 generators for each node. So we can split the 270 by 90 for each bank of 6 generators, because then for each generator at 15, we do 15 times 6, that will equal 90. So it just makes life a little bit easier, makes everything nice and balanced. Well, our issue is water. So water pipes are limited to 300 per minute. As you can see, I've decided to go for 3 water extractors for each bank of generators. Now, if we do 3 water extractors at 100%, we would be creating 340 water per minute, which is over the threshold of what the pipes can handle. So to make numbers nice and easy, and just to make it more efficient, we're going to underclock the water extractors to 75%, which will equal 270 water per minute for each bank of 6 generators, which is perfect because we want the water intake to match the coal intake. So with that all explained, I will leave all the diagrams that I've shown on screen. I will leave them available in my Discord, which you can find a link to my Discord down in the description below. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get some foundations. And what we're going to do is just bring the foundations out just over here for now. We want them kind of above the water, about there. So we're going to bring that all the way out, just so we can see the water over now coming over the top. Kind of nice. What we want to do is we kind of want to avoid this rock over here. So what we're going to do is we're now going to get to our wall so we can correctly work out where we want it. So be a good place. So starting at the top of the foundation, we're just going to bring this down to around about there, and then we'll grab our 2-meter foundation again. We should be able to snap that quite nicely to there. So there we go. We can bring that out to around about there. We can hop onto here, and now we know that's all level. We can get rid of all of that. And now we've got that done, we can go ahead and we can remove them walls because we don't need them anymore. We'll grab our 2-meter foundation and we'll just go like that. Now that's perfect. Now I have painted just under here, just so I know where the middle of our floor is over here. So we want to go all the way out 2 sections like this. We know that this is going to be out. So for our water extractors, they will cover 3 wide foundations, as you can see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves an anchor so we know exactly where to place it. So a common way to do that is to get a pipeline junction. We're going to pop that directly into the middle of this one out of the 3. Just going to pop that down just so we've got a nice reference point and a nice anchor. So we're going to go like this and we're going to hold control, and this should snap it into place like this. And we want to get it as close as possible. We'll go a little bit further back, about there is good. So we want to do the same the other side. So we're going to have to go ahead and grab another anchor point. So we'll do that. We'll line it up with this one. We'll go ahead and grab our tractor again. We'll line this up quite nicely. About there is looking good. Okay. Okay, so now what we can do is just hold down control and we can place our 3 next to each other like this. Okay, so now that all of our water extractors are now built, we've got the task of plumbing it all up and figuring out where we want to enter these up to the top. So I think what we'll do is we'll have the first 3 will enter up here. The second 3 will probably also enter up here as well next to it. And then the last banker 3 will probably enter up here. So before we do that though, what we're going to do is we're going to configure our water extractors and we're going to go for 75% like we talked about earlier. We're going to copy that and we're just going to run around and we're just going to paste all of those in here. Okay, so here we are. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a pipeline junction just here. Kind of want it in the center. So we'll pop that one in the center here. Going to have another one lining up to these 2. And then this final one, what we can do is we can just go ahead and pipe around to here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to rotate this round. And then we're going to move it across to like that. So we can connect that and then we can connect this one over to here. And then, yeah, that looks quite nice and straight there. So that's perfect. So now that we've got this one connected, what we can do is we can kind of bring that over to here. Okay, so there we go. We've got our first pipeline all the way up and located. So what we're going to do now is also get another pipeline floor hole. We're going to pop this one just here in the middle. So that's going to feed the them 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop another one just over here as well. So we're going to pop that into the middle there for the others. So we're going to go ahead and grab our pipeline junction again. We're going to snap it so it is level with all of them. So dead in the middle, want this one, go ahead again. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring this one out again so it's level. We're going to rotate it round and we're going to go from here. We're going to go 1, 2. That should make it nice and straight. Yep, perfect. Okay. And then we're going to bring these all together like this. Now this one here, what we're going to do is do something a little bit different. So we'll connect these to start with that. Then this one here, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure it's straight. We're going to make sure it's level with all the rest of them. We're going to place it there, but we're going to take it up 1, 2. So that's how we're going to like that. So here comes a tricky bit, is lining up our pipeline. So we're going to try and line it up as best we can on top of this without it auto going into that there. So it's going to be pretty much about there. It doesn't look perfect, but it will do for now. So we've got horizontal to vertical on. So hopefully now we should be able to go all the way over to here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just pop it just there. And then lastly, we should be able to go just straight up there like so. So that should be looking pretty good now. And then basically all you want to do is you want to do exactly the same for the third one. You just want to go up 4 instead of 2. So now we're going to talk about how we're going to pump all of this water up to here. So basically each water extractor gives you 10 meters of uplift on your water. And your pump, if we read it here, gives you a maximum head lift of 20. So we've got 30 altogether. So to maximize this, we want to go from this level and want to go 10 up. But basically what we're going to do, we're going to do 1 on the bottom floor and 1 underneath the top 4. That should be absolutely plenty. So now we need to work out where we're going to put our pumps. If we go ahead and grab a 1 meter wall, we should be able to tell how far this is. So that's 2 meters. So we can pop that there for now, and then we'll grab our 4 meter wall and we'll go another 8. So that's 10 meters right there. Now we can go ahead and we can get our logistics. We can get a pump. So we want a 10 meter head lift. So we want it around about here. Just to be on the safe side, we'll drop it down a little bit and we'll just rotate this round, and then we'll go ahead and fix the other one on as well. We'll get rid of these walls. We'll place our other pump sort of parallel with this one. Even though this one could go a little bit higher, we just want to make it nice and uniform. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and get to our wall, and we can kind of work out how far this is going to be. So we're going to ignore that 4 meter. We've got 4 meters there, 8 meters there. So we've got about 10 meters. So we need to go 10 meters basically from there. Okay, so now we are back up the top. We can kind of sort out what we need. So I know for a fact that the one at the bottom is not going to be enough to power all the way up. So we are going to need some here as well. So what we're going to do is get rid of this pipe. We're going to go ahead and get another pipe just over here. Going to rotate it around. I want to go 1, 2, just like that. And then what we're going to do is connect this one to there. And that should make it nice and uniform and straight. And I'm going to do exactly the same for this one. So we're going to make sure it's in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and, in fact, what I might do is put them over this direction. I think this looks a lot better. So with our hologram here, this one here is where our first pump actually ends. So having it here is absolutely perfect because it will feed all of these instead of just that one down at the bottom. Okay, so now it is time to power everything up. So I took the liberty of going back to obviously the hub and grabbing some more concrete and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is drag this power line over to here for our pumps. Put it nicely in here, I think. That should do quite nicely there. We are going to link these pumps up because we're definitely going to need power to these. And then what we'll do is we will connect our nodes. We'll connect up our miners first because we want them to definitely be producing the coal ore and exporting that to our generators. Now I will explain why. It's simply because we're on a manifold system. So we want this all the coal generators to fill up before we actually start producing sort of power from them. So I want to make sure they're all stocked up and full first of all. So what we're going to do is then go ahead and connect these pumps over here. And we can go ahead and connect all of our water extractors. So just elaborating on what I was saying and kind of what I meant in case people didn't understand what I meant, is before we turn the generators on to provide power, we want to make sure they are fully stocked up with water and with coal, just so there's no gaps in the system. Make sure everything is going to be running smoothly. So we're going to go ahead and get these pumps all on. So that's good. We'll just double check they're running at 75%, which they are. Is absolutely perfect. So we're going to go and head back up to the top. We're going to keep an eye and make sure everything's all good. So now what we're going to do is, because we've got Mark II belts and this node only doing per minute, and I believe this one over here is a pure mode node, so this one is doing 120 per minute. So what we can do, and it will increase our power consumption, use a power shard. So we can put a power shard in here and we can go ahead and ramp that up to 150% clock speed, which is 90. So we do need another one, and we can then make this 120%, which is probably what we're going to do. Okay, so I decided to take a little trip just to go and grab a power shard because I saw one quite close by where our factory is, just sort of up there somewhere. So I decided to go and grab one, and I thought after us a power shard just here. So perfect, we can get rid of this crafting bench again, and then we can go ahead and put this power shard in here. This right up to 120 minutes. So that should be running at 100% efficiency now for Mark II belt. And it should also help speed up the process of filling these up, because these are going to take a while. Okay, so all of our generators are nearly full up. We've just got a few at the end, but that shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to fire it all up. So we're going to go ahead and connect everything up to power, and they should all pretty much activate. So we're just going to go ahead and ramp all these up. Just been doing a little bit of decorating while I was waiting for this lot to actually fill up. We can hear them power them up already, so that's a very good sign. And there we go, we've got them all powered up. So there we go. All powered up. They should all be running quite smoothly. We'll just check our power grid. So our capacity at the moment is 1120, production 900 megawatts. We're not consuming anything. Fuel is stable and the water is stable, so that's exactly what we like to see. So there we go. That is how you build the power plant. That's how I built mine. Got a nice copper finish on the pipes here. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So hopefully you have found that all very helpful and very interesting. Hopefully, what we got up here? Nice power slug. We'll just grab this quickly. Yeah, we've got it. That's fine. Not too worried about the bugs. We'll manage without them. So there we go, everyone. Our power plant is up and ready and producing us with lots of power. Now I will be finishing off the rest of it. Sorry, it's been a little bit of a long video, but there's a lot to go through and a lot to explain, so resources to gather and everything like that. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, and hopefully you're enjoying the series so far. If you are, make sure you hit that like button. Also, don't forget to jump in my Discord, left the link down in the description below. As said, I've got all the plans for this build, and it's got its own section for Satisfactory. So make sure you pop in, ask some questions, I'll do my best to help you. But it's been Kryptonite here, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.